everyone! So today I'm going to be giving you a small tour of flats and halls, specifically Purbeck House, and tell you some tips and tricks on moving into your first flat in uni. So here we have one of the flats. This is what they typically look like, starting with the hallway. Often there are 4 to 10 rooms. Personally, I lived with 4 others, so there were 5 of us all together. It was great fun. I'll give you a tour of one of the bedrooms. As we go in, you'll see that everyone tends to generally decorate their bedrooms to make them feel more like home. Not everyone does this, it's totally up to you. Personally, I did decorate my room a lot because often I have a tendency to feel quite homesick, so it helps massively, and I definitely recommend that if it wasn't as easy for you to move out. There's loads of things you can do to help yourself feel slightly less homesick in terms of decorating your room. So just from adding pictures of friends and family from back at home, and then obviously as you get to meet more people back at uni, you can add pictures of them, which is really lovely. And then things like home trinkets or teddies or anything like that. If you used to have that in your room back at home, it's lovely if you can bring that to your uni room, because then it just makes everything feel more comfortable for you when you're there. I also massively recommend, if you can, getting any plants for your uni room. So I had like 3 or 4 plants in my room, which was so cool, and I definitely think it opens up the room, gives it more light. So this room is actually quite good because it's got really lovely view, which isn't always the case. One thing I'd highly recommend is definitely making sure you're getting outside each day at least once, even if it's for a 10-minute walk around the block or to go get your shopping. Then we've got an ensuite bathroom. They don't usually tend to get much bigger than this. A lot of halls don't even have en-suites, you'll just share a bathroom with your flatmates. But it doesn't matter either way. I personally was quite lucky I had an ensuite, and I would say they're quite good, and I would recommend getting one because you just get your personal space a bit more. You're able to just keep everything in the bathroom, so it's quite nice, you get to stay organised. And we have the kitchen and living area. This is probably where you will spend most of your time in halls in first year. This is not always the case. Some people spend a lot more time in their room. I do recommend trying to get in the kitchen and be in a communal space and with people as much as possible, just because it is really good for you. And it's great fun, meeting new friends, meeting new people. It can be really daunting at first, but it's amazing and great fun and such a good experience. And obviously the size varies depending on the amount of people. So this flat has 6 people in, 6 rooms. So as you can see, there's loads of cupboard space, which is amazing. So generally people have 1 or 2 cupboards to themselves that they'll just keep. I do recommend keeping your own cupboard space and not making it communal, just because it's useful knowing where your stuff is always. As well as the fridge, you'll share one fridge generally, unless there's lots of you might have multiple fridges. One tip I massively recommend, having a shelf each on the fridge, because a lot of people are going to accidentally take your food or things will get muddled up, and it just makes things way easier if you just have your shelf and you keep it like that. So in the living area, it's a decent size, can fit a reasonable amount of people in. You can see here this flat is quite lucky, they have really lovely view, which is amazing. Also, if you can see here, it's a pin board, which is really useful for things like making a rota. So what my flat did, which is really good, and I know lots of other flats did, is reproduce rotas for when you have to take out bins, because obviously they'll get too full once or twice a week depending on how many people are living there. So you'll have to empty them, so whether you want to take turns, do it in pairs, do it all together. Same with things like washing up. Maybe if you're going to all wash up together, if you're sharing anything, it's quite good to have a rota. So that's it on the tour of first year uni halls. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.